to live alone in the mountains or away from the noise of human life is easy. The trees do not argue. The rivers do not betray. The rocks do not deceive. But to live among people where thoughts clash, desires compete, and words wound is the real challenge. The wise have always pondered, how do we live among people without losing ourselves? How do we coexist without constant conflict? Buddhist teachings remind us, just as a flower does not choose who enjoys its fragrance, a wise person does not let the world dictate their inner peace. This means that living wisely among others is not about controlling people, but about mastering oneself. This story will take you through the journey of a person who learns, through trials and wisdom, how to navigate human relationships skillfully. The noise of the world, there was once a man who longed for peace. He was tired of misunderstandings, tired of people who hurt him with their words, tired of the endless judgments, so he withdrew from the world, believing that solitude would bring him the happiness he sought. At first, the silence was comforting. The absence of conflict felt like freedom. But soon another noise arose, the noise within his own mind. The echoes of past words, unresolved emotions, and lingering fears followed him like shadows. One day, while meditating, a simple realization struck him. The problem is not people. The problem is how I react to them. He understood that running away was not the solution. If he truly wanted peace, he had to learn how to be with people without losing himself. Wisdom begins with self-awareness. The Buddha once said, an unguarded mind is like a house with open doors. Any trouble may enter. If we do not understand ourselves, every word from others will wound us. Every misunderstanding will shake us, and every conflict will drain us. Before we seek to change how others treat us, we must understand our own nature. The return to the world with this realization, the man returned to society. But this time he did not expect the world to be different. Instead, he sought to change how he experienced it. The first challenge came quickly. A stranger insulted him without reason. Before, he would have reacted with anger or hurt. But now, he paused. This insult is like a gift, he thought. If I do not accept it, it remains with the giver. Instead of reacting, he simply smiled and walked away. That day, he discovered an important truth. Not every battle deserves a fight. People often carry their own wounds, their own burdens, and they project them onto others. If we take every insult personally, we become prisoners of their emotions. To live wisely with people, we must learn to let go of unnecessary battles. As the wise saying goes, a fool argues with the wind. The wise adjust their sails. Understanding the nature of people as he continued to live among others, he noticed something else. People were not always kind. Some were selfish. Some were dishonest. Some pretended to be friends, but carried hidden intentions. At first, this realization made him disappointed. He wondered why can't people be better? But then he remembered, expecting us others to be perfect is like expecting fire not to burn. It is in its nature, rather than feeling betrayed or disappointed. He began to observe people without judgment. Some people were like the sun, giving warmth without asking for anything in return. Some were like the rain, bringing both nourishment and storms. Some were like mirrors, that again reflecting whatever stood before them, but none of them were good or bad. They were simply being what they were. Acceptance brings freedom. Buddhist teachings remind us the lotus blooms in muddy water, yet remains pure. This means that wisdom is not about escaping difficulties, but about growing despite them. To live wisely with people, we must accept their nature, just as we accept the seasons, without resistance, without frustration. The power of detachment. One day, a friend whom he trusted deeply betrayed him. The pain was sharp, but instead of drowning in anger, he asked himself, "Why does this hurt me?" The answer was clear: because I was attached. He had expected loyalty. He had assumed trust would never be broken, but just as clouds shift and rivers change course, people too are unpredictable. Rather than holding on to bitterness, he let go. Not with resentment, but with understanding. People will come and go. Their actions will change. But my inner peace is mine to protect. Attachment is the root of suffering. When we hold on to expectations, we suffer. But when we learn to flow with life, disappointments lose their power over us. The wise do not cling to people. They appreciate them while they are present and let them go when it is time. As the old wisdom says, a burr held too tightly in the hand will struggle. Held gently, it will stay. Over time, he became lighter. He no longer took insults personally. He no longer expected affection from others. He let go of unnecessary attachments, and something unexpected happened. He found true peace not because the world changed, but because his way of experiencing it had transformed. He learned. 1. Self-awareness is the foundation of wisdom. 2. Not every battle needs to be fought. 3. Acceptance brings freedom. 4. Detachment prevents suffering by mastering himself. He had mastered the art of living among people, and in doing so, he discovered the greatest truth of all. Happiness is not found in isolation from people, but in understanding how to be among them without losing oneself. The path of wise coexistence, the journey of living wisely among people, is not about avoiding difficulties, but about learning how to navigate them with inner stability. Let us reflect on the key lessons and how they apply to everyday life. 1. The root of conflict is the mind, not the world. Many people believe that their suffering comes from how others treat them. But is that truly the case? If two people hear the same insult, why does one become furious while the other remains unaffected? The difference is not in the words spoken, but in the way they are received. Buddhism teaches the world is like a mirror. When you smile, it smiles back. When you frown, it frowns too. If we always find ourselves in conflict with others, we must ask, am I carrying the fire of anger within me? If so, then every insult will ignite it. But if we cultivate peace within, then even the harshest words will have no fuel to burn. The key is self-awareness. We must watch our own minds, understanding where our pain truly comes from. Only then can we stop blaming others for our suffering and begin to free ourselves. 2. Choosing peace over reaction in life. In life, not every battle is worth fighting. If a barking dog approaches, do you bark back? If someone throws a stone, do you pick it up and throw it in return? The wise understand that reacting to every offense only drains their energy. There is an old story of a monk who was insulted by a man. Instead of responding, the monk simply smiled. The man asked, "Why do you not defend yourself?" The monk replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man realized that his anger remained his own, as the monk had refused to take it. We too can learn from this. When people try to provoke us, we have a choice. Do we take their anger into our hearts, or do we let it pass by like the wind? By mastering our reactions, we gain power over our own emotions instead of letting others control us. 3. Understanding people as they are. Disappointment often comes from expecting people to be different from what they are. We expect honesty from those who lie. We expect kindness from those who are selfish. We expect loyalty from those who only think of themselves. But expecting a thorn bush to produce roses only leads to suffering. The wise do not waste time trying to change others. Instead, they observe and accept people for who they are. This does not mean we should tolerate harm. It means we should see clearly and make wise choices. If a person is untrustworthy, we do not need to hate them. We simply choose not to rely on them. If a person is dishonest, we do not need to argue. We simply stop engaging in the games. Acceptance brings clarity. Clarity brings freedom. 4. Letting go of attachments. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let go not just of people, but of expectations, resentments, and old wounds. Many people hold on to betrayals, replaying them in their minds like a never-ending story. But who suffers from this? The betrayer or the one who refuses to let go. The Buddha taught, holding onto anger is like holding a burning coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Letting go does not mean we forget or allow harm. It means we free ourselves from the weight of what no longer serves us. Instead of holding on to disappointment, we accept that all things change. Instead of clinging to past wounds, we forgive not for others, but for our own peace. This is the secret to emotional freedom. 5. True strength is found in inner peace. Many believe that strength comes from dominance, winning arguments, controlling others, and proving themselves right. But true strength is found in the ability to remain at peace in any situation. The one who can walk away from conflict without anger is stronger than the one who stays to fight. The one who can let go of an insult without feeling wounded is wiser than the one who seeks revenge. Imagine a mountain standing tall while the winds howl around it. No matter how strong the storm, the mountain remains unmoved. This is what we must become: solid, stable, and unshaken by the chaos of the world. We do not need to react to every insult. We do not need to engage in every argument. We do not need to carry every wound. We only need to cultivate inner peace, and the world will lose its power over us. The art of living among people, living with wisdom means understanding the nature of people, mastering our reactions, and letting go of unnecessary burdens. It means choosing peace over anger, clarity over attachment, and strength over control. As the Zen saying goes, be like the sky, untouched by the storms that pass through it. When we learn to live this way, we stop being victims of the world and become masters of our own existence. This is the path of the wise. Thanks for watching. Hope enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.